Buthethu bumnyama kuvela ukhanya litshilo igwijo libhengeza ukufika kwethu siliqele liphala phambili lendaba Ekhaya Jikelele kungaqhuma kubasiwe kungabaswa kulanjiwo into ethi ke Ekhaya Jikelele namhlanje siyasaniphekela sanididiyela ezitshotshe enhlanje emva kweli naphesheya kwale malwandle singalibalanga ke isimo sezulu nezemidlalo timleke ukholosa kalubisi kodwa ke andiyami ndedwa umamtshali ukhona
ngikhona nyani makhuli mbukeli sikubingelele sikwamukele Ekhaya Jikelele njengoba seshilo ke ugxa wami ukholosa ukuthi cha siphethe umgodla wethu uyaphuphuma sikuphathele indaba ezenzekayo ezemidlalo ezomnotho kanjalo nje sinehambeli kanye ke nabantu esixoxisana nabo mayelana nezindaba ezahlukahlukene njengamanje kodwa mbukela ke siqale ngokuthi sibheke ihamba phambili kuleli hora.
After hearing i-gunshot ke I think yathusa wonke umuntu.
Owayesakuba ngumhlobo kaSenzo Meyiwa uzawuqhubeka namhlanje ukunika umonqina kwinkundla ephakamileyo ePitoli.
Umengameli uCyril Ramaphosa ufisele inkosi uma ngosuthu Buthelezi ukululama ngokusheshsha njengoba esalaliswe esibhedlela.
Lotshani nginguleno sigusheshelo umhajo ikwekwezi FM emthonjeni 9 to 12 siyakwamukela ehleleni elitsha likamabonakude lendaba ezinabileko Ekhaya Jikelele sikhamba nawe noyomsebenzini uthinge esikolweni konke okuhloka kuyokuthola zamba nje siphuma phambili indaba siqahe ngezemidlalo ubujamo bezulu ukuthi na uphuma ekhaya wazi ukuthi umbathe njani konke okuhloka ngelimi oluzwisisako la ku SABC News.
Umhlobo kaSenzo Meyiwa umthokozisi Thwala uzawuqhubeka nokunika ubungqina bakhe namhlanje. Olengqina lesithandathu lombuso uza kubizwa ukuba angqine malunga neziganeko ezakhokelele ekubulaweni komdlalo webhola ekhatywayo ngonyaka ka-2014. Amadoda amahlanu atyebekwe izityholo zokubulala abetha phantsi ngenqindi aliphika ityala.
Ibhentshi eligcwele lamajaji enkantolo ephakeme ehleli eMgungundlovu lizokwethula isinqumo namhlanje malungana nesicelo somshushisi uBilly Downer nentatheli uKaren Mon sokuthi kuhoxiswe isicelo sowabe umengameli uJacob Zuma sokuba abashushise ngasese. Uma lesi sicelo siba impumelelo sizovimba uZuma ukuba aphoqe ukuthi uDowner noMon babe khona enkantolo uma esefaka isicelo sokuphosela inselele isinqumo senkantolo esachitha isicelo sakhe sokushushisa ngasese uDowner kanye noMon. uZuma usolalaba ngokuthi banikezelana ngemininingwane ebucayi emayelana nokugula kwakhe iyabeke isiphelela kwabe indaba. Inhlangano iJacob Zuma Foundation ithe uZuma ube ekhona enkantolo uma ke sekwethulwa isinqumo kulandela ukuthi kade okwelashwa eRussia.
Manikeze kugqawami umamtshali.
Umengameli uCyril Ramaphosa usefisele inkosi uma ngosuthu Buthelezi ukululama ngokusheshsha. Umntwana wakwaphinda ngene usalaliswe esibhedlela namanje kanti umndeni wakhe uphinde wangeniswa esibhedlela kulandela ukuhlaselwa izinhlungu emhlane kwabeke sekudingeka ukuba aqhubeke ukuhlala esibhedlela kuze kube uyalulama ngokugcwele wabuselwe esibhedlela emva kwesikhashana ededeliwe ngenxa yazo belu izinhlungu emhlane wakhe. Umndeni ke uthina kanjani uyethemba ukuthi uzolulama ngokugcwele waphinde watusana ezilokothoke ezinhle eziqhamuka ezakhamuzini zakuleli eyifisela inkosi uma ngosuthu ukululama ngokusheshsha. Lokhu kwenzeka nje imbabazane emahaqa izogubha usuku lokuzalwa kwayo kulenyanga lapho izobihlanganisa khona iminyaka engama-95 idla anhlamvana. Mbukeleke kuzothinga le kwehora lesishiyagalombili bese sixhumana nodokotela uBhekuyise Ngelele Buthelezi ozonaba kabanzi ke ngesimo sempilo somntwana wakwaphinda ngene.
Owayesakuba ngumphathiswa wezothutho eNtshona Koloni uBonginkosi Madikizela ubhengeze kwindibano nonondaba eKapa ukuba uza kuphinda azinike ithuba lokonyulwa njengenkokheli yeDA kweli phondo. Kwiminyaka emibini edlulileyo waye warhoxa njengenkokheli yalombutho ephondweni njengomphathiswa wezothutho nanjengoko kusithiwa waxoka ngeziqinisekiso zakhe zemfundo.
I believe that we must engage people. And of course, lastly, I strongly believe that as the leader, we must work together with the like-minded people come 2024 so that we can get a different government. I think it has been proven in South Africa that for the last almost 30 years now, things are getting worse instead of getting better. And I think what we need to do as leaders really is to be politically mature and really put our egos aside.
Unyulo lwaseZimbabwe luphazanyiswa ziinkundla zamatyala okukhokelele ekubeni amaqela aphikisayo athandabuze inkqubo yolunyulo phambi kovoto. Inkundla ephakamileyo imamele isibheno seqela eliphikisayo i-Citizens Coalition for Change emva kokuba inkundla yasebulawayo ichithe abagqatswa beliqela abali-12 epalamente. Owayesakuba ngumphathiswa waseZimbabwe uSaver Kasukuwere sele efake amaphepha kwinkundla yomgaqo-siseko emva kokuba inkundla ephakamileyo yalurhoxisa ugqatso lwakhe. Kwangaxeshanye iZANU-PF ibikhankasa kwindawo ephantsi kombutho ophikisayo apho ke abagqatswa be-CCC abali-12 baye bagxothwa.
ZEC, which is the electoral management body in our country, must not proceed to print ballot papers up until the application for direct access, which will vet whether or not the Supreme Court was constitutionally correct, is heard.
ZANU-PF is an organized political party. ZANU-PF keeps time. When there's a nomination court, we know when it opens and we know when it closes. I say to those who are unable to read the programs and times, they should go back and claim their school fees.
Ngaphambi kokuba uphume mbukeli, qiniseka into yokubana uyarhabula ufince kuqikelelo lwemozulu.
Khethiwe Nkosi Kexolisa abantu abaningahambi Khethiwe uyani Khethiwe Nkosi yeyeni ngazisa ngengane zami Khethiwe
wasishiya ngoba wengafuna ukuthi sibone simjulubayo. Wayazi ukuthi umlilo awuphucanga nje kuphela amehlo akhe kodwa nethuba lokuziphilela endaweni yakithi.
Wow, mbukeli, wow, into endingayithetha leyo. Well, umlawuli wenkqubo zalapha ekhaya uJeku Hlongane uwongwe ngembasa ye-Lifetime Achievement kumnyhadala wefilimu yabantwana iNelson Mandela Children's Film Awards kutshanje. Lo ke mbukeli ngumququzeleli wamabali wabantwana adlala kumabonakude ukusuka kaloku Phako Yo TV, Strangers, Take 5, Kids News, dibala ntoni na. Sinake apha namhlanje kumagumbi ethu osasazo. Jeku, masikubulise sikwamkele Ekhaya Jikelele.
Ngiyabonga sanibona Kholosi.
Wow, congratulations on this Lifetime Achievement Award. And earlier on, siyasadlala i-clip kwezi show othe waziqulunqa i-Strangers. At that moment uyibona ujonga uhambo lwakho sowulapha namhlanje, what is going through your mind?
Yo, yazi, you know, i-programs zabantwana ngiyazithanda kakhulu. Ever since I started working at the SABC. Nami nje, I was a presenter myself like you, but kudala lokha. So coming into the space, SABC education, nabantwana, really SABC gave me the freedom to be creative, you know, to really do right by the children. So what we saw now, Guti Eclipia Strangers, was one of the short films that we created for children. The wee competition for the whole country where children could write in stories about things that were important to them. And then those stories sazenza ukuthi kube film. And those children who wrote in, they learned about television, they acted in the film. And one of these films went to Italy. The children went to Italy for the first time. And it actually won an international award in Italy at the Chuck Jr. Film Festival.
Wow.
So, you know, ukusebenza nabantwana is just a joy because they're just hungry for knowledge. They learn everything, or at a time they listen to you. But I think, you know, the power of film, the power of television, we can't underestimate. It's so important because it changes the lives. And all these children, because this is not the only film that we did. We did Lucky, we did Mbia and his cow. They've all gone to do great things. So I'm very, very proud of that work. Yeah.
Wow. And we are certainly proud of the work that you do. And as Usicho Wenache Kindokbana, the power of the media can really not be underestimated. I mean, looking at the world, it's evolving. We have load shedding, we had COVID-19. There's so much happening, you know, the social ills, the political sphere as well. And I mean, looking at the media, as you are the voice of the children. And I mean, looking at the media, I mean, we can say that it is empowering abanye abantwana, and umsebenzi owenzayo owonobalulekileyo is that you portray children as victors and not victims. Why is that important to you?
That's important to me because, you know, oftentimes a TV masibona abantwana, they are in a situation where they are either being abused or something's happening and they are victims. As if abana voice, as if they can't think for themselves, you know. And so when you portray children on the media, it's important that you portray them as people who can win, who can believe in themselves. My big thing, Mina, is that we need to affirm the African child, you know, because as African people, we don't have too many role models, you know. And so ETV really, you know, when you can see yourself or see somebody else who looks like you, or Teta Njengawe, who lives in the same area, basically you can relate to, it affirms the child, you know, and they also now become, it's like, oh, okay, I'm important in the world. I can be noticed. I can be whoever I want to be. So we want to show our children as winners so that other children can feel that they too can achieve whatever they put their minds to. It doesn't matter where they come from. And many children come from very disadvantaged areas and they've seen things that they should never have seen at their young age. but the power of media has that inspirational thing. Yoguthi nami one day, if Kolosa can be on TV, coming from the Eastern Cape, I think that's where you come from.
Deep in the
Nami,
rural
yes,
areas.
exactly. Nami, I can be that. So we need to use the media in a way that really builds our children and supports them and keep the flame alive. Ukuthi they can be whoever they want to be.
They can be whoever they want to be. Ndiyayithanda kakhulu into oyithethayo into yokubana affirming the African child, which really proves that if umntana ngenene usezilalini, if uzayibona izawuprova le nto into yokubana possibilities are endless.
That's it.
And you have created those possibilities from your TV, strangers, and then ndiye ndancuma kakhulu xa ndithi kids news, because I mean abantu abafana nani have really paved the way, and I mean it's really great into yokubana you are receiving iflowers zakho while you still alive. And ndifuna nje undibuyisele back to the moment kwi-Nelson Children Film Awards xa bebiza igama lakho bekuwonga with this lifetime achievement, and looking at your work and nomsebenzi owenzile, it's not just umsebenzi nje, but you have lived to see the fruits of your work. How does that make you feel?
Empeleni, I didn't expect it. You know, I'm, as I say, ngiyasebenza nami, I'm an employee at SABC. I'm passionate about what I do. And I really didn't think Guti, I would be getting a Lifetime Achievement Award, because there's still so much to do. So I was very happy, obviously, and honored, but also very humbled. And I think that award, because it's named after Utatu Nelson Mandela, who himself loved children, you know, it means a lot to me, and I think it just spurs me on to do more work around the children's space. So and it's great to be recognized, as you say, whilst you're alive. And you know, you don't see how much work you've done until somebody reads that back to you after some time. So Nami, as I was sitting there and they were going through this, that I was like, gosh, umuntu sebenzile, you know? Yeah, so I was very, you know, I'm proud of myself, but I'm proud of the work that I've done, but I wouldn't have done it alone, you know. As you know, television is a team effort. So there are scores of producers and children that we've worked with, and people at the SABC, my managers, everybody that has supported me. It's not me alone. I can't take the glory and the shine. And I really appreciate the freedom that I've been given by the SABC, but the teams that I have worked with over the years within the SABC and outside of the SABC.
Oh wow. And ndiyabona into yokubana as uthetha kakhulu ngabantwana uba emotional, which means that this is really something that is close to your heart.
Yes.
And we cannot run away from the fact that in as much as kukhona abantu abafana nani who are really making a difference in the media space and nasebantwaneni, sisekhona mhlambe izinto esizibonayo into yokubana ziyasilela in the media space. I mean, what does this mean to you? I mean, getting this award, how are you willing to use this victory? Of course, without mhlambe le award, this is just a bonus. How are you hoping to use this victory to inspire nabantu abakwi media space into yokubana bathathe ingqalelo abantwana, and also with future projects zakho kuba ndiyakwazi into yokubana ukhona naku sister channel SABC2. I mean, simephi abantwana, because I mean this is for the kids. Ikamva labantwana ingaba limephi?
You know, the future is always exciting because it gives you another day to come up with something new and something creative. Something that I'm really passionate about is that we don't do enough of at the SABC is going to children's animation. And the reason is that animation, you know, it costs a lot of money. But I really think that that's a space that we need to go into, because South Africa is rich with stories. You know, we are rich in culture, we are rich in heritage, we are rich in our languages. And so we can take those stories and package them in an animation program, and then we can export it to the rest of the world. And you know, with animation, it's easy because then you can dub it into different languages, whether it's Swahili or French or whatever, you know, but that's a way of us exporting our stories and showcasing our country and our continent, because oftentimes we know how our country and continent is portrayed. In the media, it's always in a bad light, but it's going to take us Africans to make sure that we change that situation around by exporting stories and messaging that is positive, that shows that Africa and South Africa is rich and it's vibrant and it's alive with possibilities. And so it's our responsibilities, all of us, especially those who work in the media, to make sure that we change the narrative around how we are portrayed as African people and how our children are portrayed, because they are the future of this country, of this continent. And so we need to empower them now when they're young. We need to instill growth in them and that passion and that sense of curiosity, and become independent thinkers so that they can take this country and this continent forward. So that's one thing I would like to really immerse myself in, and of course do more of the children's films, but it's very expensive, you know, and so sometimes when we have to cut budgets, unfortunately, the children are the first one to be cut. I hope it's
expensive.
So I'm always fighting for those budgets because, you know, it's kids and kids are not going to complain. So we have the responsibility to fight for the children and make sure that we put quality content on air for them.
Quality content. And, you know, Lendo Choyo, it really affirms that a journey to 1,000 miles begins with one step. You know, you are a true definition of a shapelifter. And Mzansi Afrika nabantwana ngokubanzi ngiqinisekile into yokubana, even though mhlawumbe abantwana bengazi the face behind wonke lo msebenzi osetelevision namhlanje bazowazi. And I just want to take you back, you know, because I mean you are sharing your remarkable journey. You've worked with your TV or Strangers or Kids News. Ungathi mhlambe kwi journey yakho, what is your fondest memory ozosoloko nje ilapha inhlizweni yakho now that, I don't know, it's how many years later ukumabonakude?
I think there are many, but I think what I will highlight is Take 5, because Take 5 came at a time at the SABC where we had just gone into our new democracy. It was 1996, 1997. And the SABC was a different space, as you can imagine, than what it is now. You wouldn't even have a crew like, you know, just an all-black crew in a studio. So there was a lot of transformation happening. So I was given an opportunity to go to France to go and study producing for about 2 months. And out of that course, I had to come back in a program that I was going to implement SABC. So I conceptualized Take 5 in France and then came back there and I had to pitch it to the bosses, and luckily they agreed to fund it. So for many people who might have watched Take 5, Take 5 was a daily show, Monday to Friday, and it was an educational show. And children and teenagers learned about careers, for example. There was also exercise, Nabo Johanna Hlabatau, Gloria Musheshe were presenting it, Nabo Trend. So many people came through, Nabo Kim. Many people came through, King Engelbrecht. So many people came through Take 5, but it just became such a phenomenon, and we traveled the country and we made such a difference in the lives of children, especially African children. And for me, I think that is really where my love for youth content and children's content came from, and to really see how Take 5 literally transformed youth at that time really showed me the power of the media. But at the same time, I understood the responsibility that we all had who were working in the space. It's important to be conscious of what we put out, that it's well researched, that it's honest and true, it's empowering, because some kids are hanging on every word. People that will never ever meet, that will never ever see, believe everything that we say. Like children believe everything that we say, even if we are wrong. Because they respect you and they hold you in high regard, they hold on to every word. Wow. So I think for me that was the launch pad, and Take 5 really allowed me to do all these other things that I've been able to achieve along with other people. There are many other things that I'm proud of, but I'd like to single out Take 5 because I feel that's where it really all started.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Teki, thank you so much. It was an honor to have this conversation with you. Thank you so much for Nathi up in Kubeni. See Ekhaya Jikelele, we are proud of you. This is a world-deserved success. You have ended, and you have aligned i-purpose yakho ne-calling yakho, because this is your calling. And like Utatu Madiba ebedla ngokuthi into yokubana children are the greatest treasure. Thank you so much for investing kubantwana balapha eAfrika.
Thank you so much to the viewers as well.
Wow. Right, imbukeli lowo ke besincokola naye nguye kaloku uJeku Hlongwane nothe kaloku wawongwa imbasa ekuthiwa yi-Lifetime Achievement kumnyhadala wefilimu yabantwana iNelson Mandela Children's Film. Siyazingca kakhulu ngomsebenzi wakhe awenzayo kulo kaloku icandelo lemedia, njengoko sibona into yokubana abantwana kaloku ingakumbi kaloku xa sawujonga abantwana bomgquba uyatsho into yokubana they are not well represented, kodwa ke simothulela umnqwazi ngomsebenzi omhle awenzayo ukwenzeni into yobana kaloku abantwana nabo bezive bengabantu kweli lizwe lokhokho. Ngoku ke masithi qhwi evenkileni, siyabuya, wena ungayindawo.
Usabukele iEkhaya Jikelele lapha ku DTT Channel 8. Mbukeli, angeke phela siyeke ke ukunakashela lolu daba lokuqopha umlando kwebanyana banyana enqobe iItaly ngamagoli 3 kwelodwa. Ukudlulela phela esigabeni esilandelayo sowendebe yomhlaba yeFIFA kuthiwa last 16. Ake sibone ukuthi abadlali bakujabulele kangakanani kuba ingxenye yale nqopha mlando. Hawu zasajabula intokazi bakithi yazi sijabula njengathi nathi lapha eNingizimu Afrika sijabula njengabo ukuthi nje thina akasiqopha ngama video sokhombisa ukuthi sijabule kangakanani. Siphinde sikwamukele mbukeli wekhaya Jikelele. Sibonga kakhulu ukuthi usahlezi kanye nathi mbukeli. Kanti ke bangabe siqhubekela phambili umculi wezokholo noseye wayitholela indondo eziningana uBathabile Sikhosana usephinde waklonyeliswa futhi ngenye indondo. uBathabile ke mbukeli uklonyeliswe njengomculi wezokholo wonyaka emcimbini wokuqala waminyaka yonke ka2023 iBasadi Music Awards. Njengamanje ke sixoxisana naye la e-studio ufikile usivakashele uzosixoxela nje ngokonke inhlelo zakhe. Kanjalo ke futhi mbukeli ukhumbule ukuthi cha usasekhona mangabe khamba isikhathi uzokathi kusiculela sibone ukuthi kungani ewinele award. Bathabile sikubingelele sikwamukele ekhaya Jikelele.
Yalochisa kuwena xolo ngilochise nababukeli.
Sibonge kakhulu
ekhaya Jikelele
ukuthi usivakashele namhlanje.
Ngiyathokoza ukuthi ngibela.
Awusemuhle idress yakho ithi. Sengifisa nje ngabe nami khona nje lingana nami ngingayithola afterwards.
Hayi sizoyisika.
Yeah, so ke mhlawumbe ke siqale nje ukusitshela ukuthi waqala nini uqala umculo wokholo nanokuthi yini wakhetha owokholo nejeni yakho nje until njengamanje.
Ngicabanga ukuthi ngaqala ngisesemncane, I think 5 abanye bathi 9. Kodwa mina ngikhumbula when I was 15 already I was at a worship team, but I think later on in life about 2012 then I started to sing professionally, signed by Uzuzumuzi. Then ijeni yaragela phambili ngizithola sengila years later collecting awards there and there, failing there and there, winning there and there. Kodwana kuyaragela phambili. It's part of the journey. Yeah. So right now I think sengasho ngithi nginayo 10 years as a professional musician.
Yes. Zasajabula ukuzwa lokho. Manje ngiyazi ukuthi njengamanje usulungiselela umcimbi wokubungaza ke imklomelo yakho kanye futhi uzobe introduce ne album yakho entsha.
Yes. So last year ku inaugural Basadi Music Awards ngathumba unongorana we Best Gospel Artist of the Year. That is history in the making. Now uthola ukuthi uthola the inaugural and you the first ihlala injalo in history books nabavula iBasadi, and siyazi ukuthi ngalesi sikhathi iBasadi is one of the biggest awards, especially celebrating women. So me being the first was a great one. So they're coming back, so I said ithi kengi ngijabule ngithokoze ngicelebrate this award, because for me ngeyokthoma a national award. I've been winning awards ku province, getting nominations, but le bekungiyokthoma as a national award.
Manje so it's Artist of the Year.
Artist of the Year.
Hayibo,
I'm currently reigning. Yes, ngimphethe unongorana msho nabawenza mbabasadi nge12 zaka August omunye sekazomthumba kodwa nasithi asimcelebrate. But then last year ngalesi sikhathi we were recording an album titled A Grateful Heart, inhliziyo ejabulile, inhliziyo ethabileko. So we are launching, actually siyoyirelease ngezi 5, siyayilauncha ngezi 5. You are the first one.
Yes.
Ekhaya Jikelele ebokthoma ukuthi bezwe ingoma ze A Grateful Heart.
Phela thina shaka exclusive lekhaya Jikelele. Abasithatha kancane sidlala kancane. Siyabonga kakhulu Bathabile ukuthi ke uzobuqala ukuthi usiculele lo ngoma la ekhaya Jikelele. So ngiyazi ukuthi usuke washiyelana inkundla namagama amakhulu kugospel oSipho Makhabane, Joy Celebration, uNezim, may his soul rest in peace. Mina ngiyethanda kakhulu gospel, so abaculi bakhona ngiyabazi kahle. So mhlawumbe imuphi umculi nje othi njengamanje usafisa ukusebenzisana naye?
Ngisafisa ukusebenzisana no Baba Benjamin Dube.
You know, spirit of praise.
Kunamandla uBaba Benjamin Dube awaphethe yena. So kuyafuneka ukuthi umuntu azisondeze ebantwini abaphethe amandla. Kakhulu ukuthi unalendo enginayo ukuthi uyiworshipper, umuntu odumisa kwenodumisa ngokweqiniso. So ngifila ukuthi he is one of the best right now. Umuntu engichidelene nekhulu naye uNtokozo Ngongoma, uyamazi. And we yes, we'll be working together on a song. Actually uzongibhalela iculo linye unyaka lo before uphela bese siyalirelease ngoJanuary. So those are the people.
Oh, we can't wait. Spirit of praise, you won't go wrong. Usibonile besiboshelwe kanjani la? Oh, I understand. PDP. Hayi ngiyakutshela. Hayi oduma imkokstadi. Hayi cha uba Benjamin mhlawumbe ulalele futhi yazini uzokushayela athi nje. Ngicela uze bathabile ngiyakudinga kwi-spirit of praise esilandela. So ke usunqobe futhi ke nendondo ke ngale album yakho isihloko sayo sithi yebo kunjalo. Ungathi nje imaphi amakhono asebenzisayo mhlawumbe ukuthi ubhala amaculo lawa athi makhamba hamba isikhathi agcine sethola indondo?
Anginayo formula amaculo kimi ayazifikela ke. Ngathi ngilele ifike, ngathi ngigeza ifike, ngathi ngisesontweni ifike. So angihlali ke phansi and uzokwazi ukuthi kule album entsha nalesibuya kiyo 80% yezingoma ngizixolele zona, but ziyazifikela. So I don't have a formula where I say I sat down and the spirit of the Lord, no, kuvele kwenzeke nje and zonke izinto ziphelele. Nangitshela music director ngithi nayi ingoma ihamba nje yena nje uyayi-rearrange ukuthi isound musically but isuke iphelele.
Manje ngizwile uke wamenshina earlier umenshina ukuthi waqala wawulapha usayine uZuzimuzi. Usasekhona manje kuleyo record label?
No.
Niyazazi inkinga iqonga nama record label ama artists amaningi Nkosi yami ave strugglisha with record labels.
No, you know, sometimes fana ukuthi uzi-understand. Ngesikhathi ngikuZuzimuzi bekunolundi nofikile and ngaleso sikhathi ufikile mlomo bebaba abantu abaku-traditional, so mina bengi-in between traditional gospel and contemporary at the time bengakazwisiseki. Yes, bengakazwisiseki. So after time sabona sinoZuzimuzi ukuthi akusile genre ayithandayo and nami ngikustay kule wrong, then ke ngaba independent, and that was the greatest decision I've made.
Ever made.
Yes, because I have a lot of control in terms of how I want to sound. Because noma kuyi-gift kufanele ukuthi isuke ngaphakathi ngingenzi into because mhlawumnye ejwayelekile kufanele ukuthi ngenze into ephuma ngaphakathi. So
hayi cha siyakubongela sisibathabile futhi siyazi ukuthi usazosinikeza umculo omnandi usakhona la ekhaya Jikelele. Umbukeli ke njengamanje ake sithi qu 8 kodwa mangabe sibe khefini sizobeke sesithola umculo omnandi wolozolo le gospel sidumisa lapha ekhaya Jikelele nobathabile sikhosana. Ungalingi uphuthele siyabuya khona manje.
Impilo yami baba ngiyabonga wasindisa umoya wami. Oh yeah, yeah, wangi impilo. Oh yeah, yeah, ethi timayo. Oh yeah. You give me hope. Yeah.